Hi, welcome to class. Today we're going to do a 5-minute hip mobility sequence with a foam roller. So let's begin rolling our quads. Come to the end of the mat so you've got plenty of room in front of you. Come on down onto your forearms and you're going to roll from your hips down to your knees. Just walking your forearms along the mat and slowly rolling right down to your knees and then all the way back up to your hips. So as you're rolling, you're just trying to relax your legs as much as you can. And it might hurt. If it hurts, that means it's tight. So just do your best to relax into those tight spots. So this is something we could probably spend all day doing, but because we've only got 5 minutes, we're going to move on to the next thing, which is rolling our glutes out. So take a seat on it, hands back behind you, cross your ankle to the opposite knee, and then you're going to tip over onto the glute and roll up and down. So whichever leg is crossed is the one that you're rolling. And you just want to, I've got my right leg crossed and I'm just doing my best to keep my right leg as relaxed as possible. And I'm rolling up and down, I'm doing a little side to side as well, just focusing in on any areas that feel particularly tight and tender. And again, this is one that we could probably do all day, but we'll move on to the other side. So take a seat on the roller, hands back behind. And now I'm rolling my left side, so I'm going to cross my left ankle to the outside of my right knee, tip over onto my left glute, and then just give it a nice roll up and down. Side to side. Just searching around, finding any spots that feel tight. Good. Okay, so now we're going to come into a 4-point kneeling position. Just place the roller to one side, and what you're going to do is extend one leg out behind and then begin pressing back into the heel. So I've got my left leg out behind and I'm pressing back into my left heel. So I may be getting a little bit of a stretch through the left calf, but that's not actually the purpose of the exercise. Just pause, and then you're going to take I'm going to take my right foot to the right and continue with that movement rocking. So what we're actually doing is rocking the pelvis over the head of the femur bone. So getting all those deep muscles working in the hips and also mobilizing a little. Okay, then we're going to go all the way across the other way. You can actually use your other knee to nudge your foot forward a little, and then same thing, just pressing back and forward into the heel. And then we're going to switch sides. So I'm extending my right leg back, pressing into the right heel and rocking forward and back, rocking my pelvis over the head of my left femur bone, thigh bone. And then I'm going to take my left foot and move it to the left, so my femur bone is internally rotated as I rock forward and back. And then I'm going to go the other way and nudge my foot forward and rock forward and back in an externally rotated position. Good. Okay, and then we're going to come down to lying on our side, and we're going to do some hip mobility work. This is called CARS, or controlled articular rotations. Rest your head on your arm, bring your legs forward so you've got a right angle at your hip and knee. Place your hand on your hip and lengthen the top hip away as if you're going to lift your waist off the mat. Keep that position as you lift your top leg to hip height, and then we're going to make a circle with the knee up, around, back and forward. And we're just doing 5 here. So you can have your hand resting on the floor or on your hip. Just make sure that your pelvis doesn't move. It's got to be just the leg moving. So you're working into the deep hip muscles and mobilizing the hips at the same time. Now we go back the other way. Very good movement for the hips. And one more. Okay, good work, and then we'll do them on the other side. So your head is resting on your arm, your legs are bent at a right angle at the hips and knees, lengthening the top hip away, lifting the waist off the mat, and then leg to hip height. Keep this length here through the top of the waist as you circle your knee up, forward, up, back, and around. Nice and controlled. You're aiming to make it as big as you can without your pelvis moving. And let's reverse that. One more time. Good. And that's it. Just a quick 5-minute mobility and flexibility sequence for your hips. I hope it's helped. And if you enjoyed it, please check out one of my other videos. Thanks so much and see you again soon.